So now we're going to try to extend this a little bit for when we're not revolving around one of our axes. So we're going to do the same type of thing. We're going to go ahead and graph our original problem, graph our vertical line at x equals -2, graph y equals 0, which is the x-axis, and graph y equals 1, which is a horizontal line at a height of 1. Then we want to look for our region that's bound by all of those, which happens to be this region right in here. And we're revolving around this right here. So it's a solid shape, vertical axis of revolution. So vertical axis of revolution, we know that we're going to be dealing with y's. So your bounds are going to be how far up and down it goes. Starts at a height of 0, goes up to a height of 1. So now we have to go and figure out our radius. Well, your radius here would go from what's on the right to what's on the left, which happens to your function, to what's on the left, which is -2. So we need to go our function minus -2. In other words, we're really adding 2. So we really get this when we simplify the inside. To integrate this, we'd want to go ahead and FOIL that out. Integrate each piece, plug in your 1 minus what you get when you plug in 0, and we end up getting 8 pi over 15. So for the most part, I'm going to spend time getting it set up. The integration you should be able to easily do at this point. Next problem here, we have a parabola. Whoops, I moved that. We have y is equal to 2, x is equal to 1. We are having y is equal to 2 is our axis of revolution, which is a horizontal axis of revolution. So we know that we're going to be dealing with x's. So we go ahead and we graph this. We know we have our parabola. We have our y is equal to 2, which is right here. We have x is equal to 1. We look at the region that's bound by all of those. Also, one of our edges happens to be what we're revolving around. This is your axis of revolution. So now we know we're dealing with x's. Your x bounds are going to, for the shaded region, starts at 0, goes over to 1, so we know that. Then for your radius is going to be top minus bottom, so that happens to be our purple function, minus what's on the bottom, which is 2. In this case, it simplifies, the 2's drop. We get an x squared, that's all squared, so that's x to the 4th. Now we can easily integrate, plug in our 1, minus what you get when you plug in 0, and we get pi over 5. One more problem here for you. We want to go ahead and graph our parabola, and we have y is equal to 2. And we're revolving around y is equal to 2. So we have a full parabola, and we have our y is equal to 2 that we are revolving around. So there's only 2 things that are bounding our shaded region, which is our curve and our horizontal line. And then we're revolving around this line right here. So we have a nice solid shape, horizontal axis of revolution, so we know we're dealing with x's. How far left and right does it go? It goes from -1 to +1. Your radius then would happen to be, once again, top minus bottom, which happens to be your function on top, minus your axis of revolution, which is 2. Then all we have to do is go ahead and simplify the inside a little bit. Now we're squaring this whole thing, so I would probably just FOIL that out. Now we do our integration, we evaluate it, and we get our answer.